like to do a deep psychiatric dive into why Quentin Tarantino is so obsessed with being cool. Unfortunately, I'm not a psychiatrist. So instead I'll do a shallow psychiatric dive into why Quentin Tarantino is so obsessed with being cool. Now, I don't think I need to be Sigmund Freud to say that a middle-aged man, and he's past middle age, who still needs to be cool, or is obsessed with being cool, probably feels deep down that he's not cool. He probably feels like he's a nerd. And then I guess we also have to define what is cool. And I think we could agree that cool would be defined as socially looked up to. See, to me, cool is more like a high school thing. I wanted to be cool when I was 14, or even when I was 12. I quit this chess club when I was in grade 4 because I thought it wasn't cool, even though I was very good at chess. But I got the cool out of my system. I was popular in high school, so I never felt like I needed to be cool later in life. So, for example, 10 years ago, I played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time because I thought it would be fun. Because I wasn't worried about whether it would be cool. Cool is, I got it out of my system. I remember some acquaintance of mine was trying to make fun of me a few years ago, and he said something like, oh, you don't even have any friends. And I said to him, what is this, high school? I'm not popular? Is that what you're telling me? You know, when I was 17 and I was panhandling in Vancouver, that was cool, because girls, were into me. That was a cool thing to do, to be panhandling when you're 17. But if you're panhandling when you're my age, when you're 47, it's not cool anymore. Same with skateboarding. Skateboarding was cool when I was 14 or 16. But a 47-year-old skateboarding, that's not... And I guess that's kind of how I see Quentin Tarantino. He's like a 60-year-old who's skateboarding and thinks he's cool. It's high school was fun and everything, but I wouldn't be able to go back at 47 years old. How would it look if I tried to be popular in a high school right now? But I guess that's what Quentin Tarantino is all about. He wants to go back to high school and be the most popular kid in school at 60 years old. Oh wait, I looked it up. He's 62, so I guess he's too old for high school. Oh, hey, look at these two cool guys. They got a gun aimed at each other, and they're dressed in cool suits. And what was that cool line in that movie where he goes, "You better not even dream of killing me"? I'm going to look it up. Hold on a second. I'm not going to bother looking it up. It's something like, if you killed me in your dreams, you better wake up and apologize. And it actually makes me wonder, how many times did Tarantino give directions on the set of that movie and every movie he's ever made, where he's like, okay, that was good. Just say it more cool, though. Just more cool. Let's do another take, but more cool this time. And then they do it, and then okay, cut. Okay, that was really good. Now let's do another one even more cool. When Samuel L. Jackson was filming the scene where he goes, "Which wallet is yours?" And Samuel L. Jackson goes, "It's the one that says bad motherfucker on it." I bet you Quentin Tarantino, he did 500 takes for that shot, because he's just okay, even cooler. This is the coolest thing ever. I can't believe how cool this is. Everybody that watches this movie is going to think I'm cool. All the girls in high school are going to think that, oh my god, Quentin's cool after all. Everybody that I know is going to think how cool I am. This is so cool. That hot chick in high school that laughed at me and called me a geek, she's going to see this movie and she's going to go, oh my god, he was so cool, I should have dated him after all. So for the sake of it, I wonder how many times Quentin Tarantino has used the word cool in his movies. So I went on to ChatGPT And it says, how many times has Quentin Tarantino used the word cool in his movies? And this is the response I get. Quentin Tarantino, capital letters, loves the word cool. His characters say it all the time, and it's part of that slick, effortlessly badass dialogue style he's known for. Well, there's... to say he's known for that, not known by me for that. He's known by me for being a nerd. While there's no exact official count, some fans have attempted to track it across his movies. Based on available scripts and fan tallies, the word cool appears well over 100 times throughout his films. Here are some notable examples. Pulp Fiction. Samuel L. Jackson says cool multiple times, including the famous "Be cool, honey bunny" line. Oh, I remember that. Reservoir Dogs. Several characters drop cool casually in their conversations. Jackie Brown. The word pops up often in the smooth dialogue. Kill Bill 1 and 2. It appears, but not as frequently as in his crime films. Death Proof. Stuntman Mike and the badass women in the movie definitely throw it around. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Rick Dalton, DiCaprio, and Cliff Booth, Pitt, have some cool moments too. I also remember in the movie True Romance, she writes on a note at the end, "You're so cool." And I think that the word cool is used in that movie quite a lot as well. So that's just Tarantino flat out saying that he wants to be cool, using the actual word. But there's other ways that he tries to show that he's cool, other than using the word cool, such as using the F word. So I would be curious how many times he's used the word motherfucker in his movies. How many times he's just said fuck. How many times he's used the N-word. Because in his delusional nerd mind, that's what cool people do. That's how they talk. I would actually be curious, like, if you did a survey, if the majority of Quentin Tarantino fans are nerds, and so they don't know what being cool really is, so they just think that this is what must be cool, so they look up to it. Based on his movies, according to Tarantino, I think a cool person is somebody who kills people. That's the one commonality between all his movies. Whether you're a gangster or a cowboy or a ninja, like a samurai, or what else has he done? Is there anything else? Or you're a movie star, like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Your willingness to kill people is like a very defining thing about being cool. And I guess that I'm really just being a bully. And I bet you that I would imagine if you were to take like a real life mobster or killer of any kind, like a Hell's Angel or something, and you showed them Quentin Tarantino's movies, I imagine they would be rolling their eyes and being like, this is pathetic. Okay, so now I put into ChatGPT, how many times has Quentin Tarantino used the word fuck in his movies? And the answer is, Quentin Tarantino's movies are famous for their heavy use of profanity, especially the word fuck. Across his filmography, the word has been used over 900 times. Here's a breakdown of fuck counts in some of his major movies. Reservoir Dogs, 269 times. A major chunk thanks to Mr. Pink and Mr. White. Pulp Fiction, 265 times. Jules, Vincent, and pretty much everyone drops F-bombs. Jackie Brown, 122 times. Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, less frequent but still present. Death Proof, 148 times. Inglourious Bastards, 38 times. Less than usual, since much of it is in other languages. Django Unchanged, more than 100 times. Though racial slurs take center stage, so, you can't blame Tarantino for not using the F words. The Hateful Eight, more than 200 times. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, less than 100 times. Total estimated usage, 900 plus times. Tarantino's dialogue wouldn't be the same without it. I imagine so. Because as any 13-year-old knows, it's very cool to say fuck. Hey, look at these two cool guys. Quentin Tarantino must be cool like they are. You know what else is cool? Is having like rhyming words, like nicknames, or names that rhyme, like Kill Bill. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. Honey Bunny. My name is Paul, and this is between y'all. There's more. Hateful Eight. Guns are also very cool, according to Quentin Tarantino. You don't need to use them, but just like pointing them and stuff, that's really cool. But you know how 13-year-olds, or like little kids, little boys, they think girls are gross? I kind of get that impression from Tarantino too, because he's trying to be cool, but he doesn't really understand relationships or like sex. So whenever he does depict it, it's very awkward. Or maybe I'm just being mean, maybe he just doesn't like writing romance stories, and I could understand that. I don't like watching them. Or maybe he's a nerd who never understood women. Another way that Quentin Tarantino tries to show us how cool he is by showing gratuitous violence, because he thinks that's cool too. Because it's very cool to like push the boundaries and make people feel uncomfortable. So yeah, there's lots of violence. The use of the N-word, that's also really cool because it's pushing the boundaries. Not for any purpose, but just for the sake of pushing the boundaries. Like, being cool just to be cool is okay with that. To Quentin Tarantino, that's cool. It's not like, because I would think, in my opinion, if I was going to say like what cool should be, it should be like, well, you're being cool to reach for some goal. The character isn't just there to try to be cool. Like, he's not trying to find the the hidden cool treasure, the treasure of cool, a treasure chest filled with coolness. Actually, I think I just solved a major question that film geeks have been wondering for decades. What was in the suitcase, the briefcase that these two idiots on the screen got in that apartment? Remember? Everybody's amazed whenever they look at it. They're like, "What's in that?" And some speculate that it's their soul or whatever, right? I always just figured it was just a lot of gold. But you know what it is? It's coolness. That's what they're looking at. It's just pure coolness in that suitcase. Tarantino should write a movie about a guy who's like already the coolest guy in the world, and he goes on an adventure to find the secret treasure of the ancient pirate Captain Cool, because he discovered the secret to eternal coolness. So, yeah, that'd be pretty funny. If you ever met Quentin Tarantino and you wanted to really piss him off the most, like you really wanted to hurt his feelings and drive him crazy, you just tell him he's not cool. Tell him he's a geek. How does it feel to make so many movies about how cool you are and still have the whole world think that you're not cool? I would love to do an edit of one of his movies, or all of his movies, where you just superimpose his face every time somebody says something cool, and you just have it go, "Hey, wasn't that cool? Look at me, that was cool, huh? I'm cool, I did this cool movie, I made this cool scene." See, I think the truth is, what Quentin Tarantino is really seeking in this cool obsession, he wants to be the alpha male, right? All of his stories are really about alpha males. So he's writing what he thinks alpha males are, and he's writing them the way he thinks they act. But the problem is, it's very shallow, and it's unrealistic, because the alpha male in a dog pack has the hardest job, and they don't do it because they want to do it. They do it because they have to do it, because they're the only ones smart enough to keep the rest of the wolves from doing stupid shit and getting themselves killed. So, an actual cool person, according to an alpha male, that's what Quentin Tarantino really wants to be. A real alpha male does it because they have to. They don't do it because they want to. A real alpha male, they wish they could just be a sheep or be a nerd, or whatever the hell how terminology Quentin Tarantino would use. But unfortunately, they're forced to be the leader because they're the only one with the wits to make the right decisions. It's actually a really shitty life to be the alpha male, to be the mob boss, to be the head of whatever. It's like people don't follow you because you want them to. They follow you because they have to, because they're clued out and they're like, what should I do? And then you're annoyed at them because you're just like, why the fuck can't you think for yourself? Okay, do this then, you know? Like, it's like babysitting everybody. You know, I'm thinking about that speech that Samuel L. Jackson, who you're looking at on the screen, says in this very scene. It's like, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides, and I will destroy my brother, and I lay my vengeance upon thee, right? And it's like, okay, a real hitman, they would get bored of saying that speech, and they wouldn't get too much pleasure out of doing their job as much as Tarantino seems to think that hitmen do. And even later on, he's like, I think Jules, when he's in the diner at the end of Pulp Fiction, he says, you know, I always said this speech, about the righteous man. I guess it sounded, I think he says like something like, I guess it sounded cool. It's a cool thing to say before I off somebody. It's like, okay, so even then you're admitting that you're trying to be cool. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no hitman expert. I'm sure there are hitmen out there, or serial killers, who do enjoy the killing, right? They enjoy their jobs. And probably enjoy scaring the person they're about to kill. But I'm not so sure they'd be doing it in such a cool way, necessarily. So Quentin Tarantino is the tragic victim of trying to be cool, chasing it his whole life, always having it evade him, and ending up frustrated as an old man when he's dying. You know, his last thoughts before he dies, he's gonna be, I never became cool. Okay, so that's that, and that's so cool. If you like my cool fucking video, then fucking click cool, like, and fucking subscribe, because that'd be cool. If you want to be cool, then subscribe. And if you want to be even cooler, then comment, and then ring the fucking bell, yo. Cool. And have a really cool day.